Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are LA.
It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the San Francisco Giants. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Saturday night to you, wherever you may be. We're at Dodger Stadium, the 15th meeting of the year between the Giants and the Dodgers, and they've each won 7. The Dodgers have also won 5 of the 8 played here. The pitching tonight for San Francisco, Tim Lincecum. He comes with a record of 9-13, but of course, remember, he's a 2-time Cy Young winner. He also had a no-hitter against San Diego in the middle of July. He is 1-1 against the Dodgers, 8-6 lifetime. He has a 3-game winning streak, and Timmy also has the second toughest earned run average against the Dodgers. It's 2.8. Jake Peavy, when he was over here in this league, 2.7. On the mound for the Dodgers, the surprise, Ricky Nolasco, 8-1 since putting on the blue. He is 5-3 against San Francisco. The magic number is 4. You can bet we'll be watching the Colorado-Arizona game for you. So pull up a chair, stay with us. The ball game and a whole lot more coming up right after this. In California Hyundai dealers, come test drive the fun-to-drive 2013 Sonata. By AT&T U-verse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. And by Jack in the Box. Go big at a participating Jack in the Box with Jack's really big chicken sandwich combos for only $3.99 plus tax.
26th sellout of the year expected at Dodger Stadium tonight. Game 3
against San Francisco. Nolasco against Lincecum. The magic number is 4. The Dodgers still can clinch on Sunday. Jim Watson, Steve Lyons in center field. As the Dodgers march towards the playoffs, they do so like Napoleon's march through Europe. They're winning the campaign, but with depleted ranks. Last night, Andre Ethier doubles in the 8th, leaves with an ankle injury. Hanley Ramirez, pain in his legs, left on Thursday, and Matt Kemp hasn't been here in months. How do you replace all of that?
You leave it to the other guys. They've been here all year long. The road warriors, the stuntmen, the bench guys, whatever you want to call them. Most of these guys have World Series rings. Guys like Schumacher, he's got 2. Punto's got 1. Uribe, he's got to pick up the power a little bit. He's going to be in there, but he'll be shuffled around with Hairston and different guys playing third base. Michael Young as well. But as I said, the guys that are going to be on the field in place of your star players have been there before. They know what they're doing, and they've had good years.
Jerry Hairston won a World Series with the Yankees as well. Ricky Nolasco, since the pickup coming over July 6th, is 8-1 with a 2.07. He's outstanding.
He's been really, really good. It's that put-away slider that's been the difference for him.
Yeah, and his last 4, his ERA is 0.63. Tim Lincecum goes for San Francisco tonight. Long year for Tiny Tim, but he's won 3 in a row. It's Nolasco for the Dodgers, Lincecum for the Giants. The magic number is 4, but Arizona is beating Colorado 2-0 in the 3rd.
You may be. We're at Dodger Stadium. We'll enjoy, among other things, 26 sellout time this year. And, well, it's worth it. This is Hispanic Heritage Day. And for good measure, the Giants, the Dodgers, the magic number has been reduced to 4. And as promised, we're going to keep an eye on the D-backs game. We can tell you they're in the 4th inning. Arizona is leading 2-0. Gerardo Parra doubled in both runs in support of Wade Miley against the veteran Roy Oswalt. But every time we have a third out, we'll post up the score for you. Meanwhile, Bruce Bochy doesn't have to play scoreboard with the last place Giant ball club. He just wants to beat the Dodgers. And his lineup goes this way. Angel Pagan in center, Gregor Blanco in left, and Brandon Belt at first. Buster Posey, the catcher, Hunter Pence in right, Pablo Sandoval at third, Brandon Crawford at short, Nick Noonan at second, Tim Lincecum, two-time Cy Young winner, on the mound. On the mound is Ricky Nolasco, and with the Spanish music in the background, his father Emilio was born and raised in Mexico, came to the United States at 19, became a rabid Dodger fan, and now his son is pitching for the Blues. The first pitch to Angel Pagan is off the plate, 1 ball and no strikes. Pagan, solid all-around ball player, hitting .283, 3 home runs, 25 runs batted in. They've really missed him. He's been out of there most of the year. He hits one in the air to left center and deep. Going back, it is over the head of Puig, playing center. He picks up the ball, and into second base with a long double goes Angel Pagan. So Yasiel Puig playing center field, and that ball hit over his head, bounces off the wall, then off his hand. It will be a double all the way for Angel Pagan. A rather rude beginning for Ricky Nolasco. So Angel Pagan doubles. Now Blanco, Belt, and Posey trying to pick him up. The Dodger outfield, Crawford, Puig, and Schumacher. Puig, remember, stayed in right field last night. The pitch is low, and then after Andre Ethier turned his ankle, he finished up in center field, and he starts at that position tonight. Beautiful evening, 80 degrees right now, a little about 610, and a very light breeze moving from left to right. The corners are up. Gonzalez and Uribe, in case Blanco tries to bunt. The left-hand hitter, full swing foul outside of first, down the line. 1 ball and 1 strike to Gregor Blanco. 15th meeting of the year. They have split the 14. So when you try to figure out what in the heck is the difference between a first place club and a last place club, probably another surprise, not only that the Giants have split going head to head. In the Western Division, the Giants are far more successful than the Dodgers. Figure it out. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Blanco shows bunt, takes off the plate, ball 2, and the count 2-1. The Dodgers in the Western Division are 31-30, just 1 game above 500. The Giants are 38-30. So within the division, the Giants are a better team. Head to head, they're dead even, and yet Dodgers first, Giants last. The 2-1 pitch coming up. Nolasco delivers very high, ball 3, 3-1. Ricky working on a big streak, 7 in a row. He is 8-1 as a Dodger. His career high winning streak came against the D-backs, an unearned run in 6 2/3 innings last time out. Out of his stretch goes Nolasco, and the 3-1 pitch coming up. Ricky deals. It is swung on and fouled away, and the count 3-2. The Dodgers with Gonzalez, Mark Ellis, Punto at short again, and Juan Uribe at third. Tim Fedorovich is handling Nolasco tonight. We'll be looking at Tim Lincecum as we look now at Brandon Belt on deck. Belt, good hitter. 3-2 the count. But you better be a good hitter if you're batting third in a major league lineup. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Gregor Blanco. Nolasco looks back at second, at Pagan, double checks, and that's too much time for Blanco, and he backs out. For Angel Pagan, starting the night off with a long double, his 15th. He's only played, including tonight, 60 games. So to give you an idea, a player who was sorely missed, it certainly was Angel Pagan, who not only is a good solid ball player, but he always seems to give the Dodgers a very bad time. He had a double last night, and Pagan trying to lead the way with an opening double here in the first inning. He missed 82 games, so that's another reason why the Giants went from first to last. 3-2 pitch coming up, and it is swung on and whacked down the right field line foul going well back into the crowd. So it's still 3-2 to Gregor Blanco. Blanco hitting .261. 35 runs batted in. Good left-hand hitter and a number 2 hitter. The lineup for the Giants tonight really stocked with left-hand batters. You have 5 left-handers plus 2 switch hitters batting left-handed. 3-2 pitch on the way is taken inside, ball 4. So Blanco draws the walk. Runners now at first and second, nobody out. We'll take a look at the Dodgers with the leather, and it's Gonzalez and Ellis, Punto and Uribe, Crawford, Puig and Schumacher. Fedorovich behind the plate, and Nolasco now trying to weather a first inning storm. Brandon Belt, a good hitter. In fact, Clayton Kershaw remembers facing Brandon Belt down in Texas. He's from Nacogdoches, and he was a 5th round pick by the Giants. Big left-hand batter swings, slices one into shallow left center. It's going to drop for a hit. Pagan is on his way to the plate. On his way to third is Blanco. They have him in a rundown, and Uribe tags him out. But with all of that, Belt is standing at second base, and the Giants lead 1-0. So Brandon Belt drops a fly ball single into left center. Pagan scores. Blanco is run down and tagged by Uribe, and during the rundown, Belt wisely into second base. So the Giants jump out in front. So Belt at second base, one of the better hitters in the Western Division. Belt was hitting .314. Here's another good hitter. That would be Buster Posey, batting .306, 15 home runs, 71 runs batted in. Big RBI man. Right-hand hitter, swings, fouls it away, and the count 0-1. Buster Posey, among other things, he's in the top 10 in sacrifice flies. Brandon Belt, by the way, doubling in a run, standing at second base. Posey trying to pick him up. Strike one, pitch on the way, swung on, whacked into left field, base hit. That means Belt will only go to third as Crawford gets it back into Uribe. So Posey strings one out. And when you look at the Giants last night, they were very quiet for 6 innings and then had 4 straight hits for 3 runs, had a home run by Pence to give him 4, and that was enough to beat Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers. And now they come right back. They have a walk, 2 singles and a double. They're hurting Nicky Nolasco. And here is Hunter Pence. Hunter Pence hitting .290, 22 home runs, 82 runs batted in, and he is the workhorse. He is now in 149 games. He's in the top 10 in a lot of departments. So Nolasco in a lot of trouble with 1 out, and the first pitch in for a strike, 0-1. Pence against Nolasco. Pence last night had a single and a home run, so he has 51 multi-hit games, 279 total bases. That would be number 3 in the league. Strike one, pitch is swung on, line drive to center, landing in front of Puig. Scoring easily is Belt. Stopping at second is Posey, and the Dodgers just can't stop the bleeding. So Pence a base hit, picking up a run batted in. It is 2-0 Giants, and the chairs at the stadium are not warm. So a double and a walk, 3 straight singles. So the Giants have had 4 hits and a walk. They've scored twice. The only out was in the rundown play between second and third to get Blanco. And the batter is Pablo Sandoval. No rest for the weary. Pablo, switch hitter, batting left-handed. Posey and Pence are out there, and Pablo squirts one to third. Uribe picks it up, juggles, drops it. Everybody's safe, and the bases are loaded. It might go as a base hit, especially with Sandoval hitting left-handed. The old guide for an official score: if you need a good play and you don't make it, it's a base hit. Well, Uribe took it up with both hands. It looked like it was going to be a so-so play, but then he dropped it, and the scorer says E5. So Sandoval reaches on the error. Pence advances to second. Posey advances to third, and the Giants trying to run away with the ball game in the first inning. So Uribe draws the error. Bases loaded. 1 out. 2 runs in. And the left-hand hitting shortstop, Brandon Crawford, the pride of UCLA, at the plate. Nolasco delivers, low and inside, ball 1. Back in May of 2011, in his first major league game, Brandon Crawford hit a grand slam. Then he hit one last year in Philadelphia. Posey, Pence, and Sandoval are all out on the lines. The 1-0 pitch, Crawford takes in the dirt. That's blocked by Fedorovich. 2-0 the count. So Crawford is the 7th man to come up, and the only batter retired was actually a runner between second and third. A double, 3 singles, a walk, and an error. Nolasco trying to fight his way out of it. Crawford hitting .267, and the 2-0 pitch on the way, in for a strike, and the count 2-1. By the way, a little local pride for Brandon, in the sense that UCLA won a big game today against Nebraska. 2-1. On deck, Nick Noonan, the young second baseman. Nolasco from a stretch checks the runners. They're all around him. And the 2-1 pitch, Crawford fouls it back, and the count 2-2. Brandon Crawford, solid shortstop, had some trouble getting his share of base hits, so he's been in and out of the lineup a little bit, but he is solid as a rock at short. He's gotten his batting average up now to .258, so he's back on the rise. Brandon waiting with Posey, Pence, and Sandoval waiting to be picked up. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Crawford takes inside, almost got him on the shoulder. 3-2 the count. So Nolasco backs off the rubber deep in thought, trying to figure out what in the world is going on here in the first inning. Waiting on deck, the number 8 man, Nick Noonan. So Crawford back up and waiting. Bases loaded, 1 out, 2-0 Giants. And the 3-2 pitch. Crawford takes ball 4. That makes it 3-0 Giants. Everybody moves up, and Crawford picks up a run batted in. Sandoval advances to second. Pence goes to third. Posey trots home. So it is 3-0. Rick Honeycutt on his way out to the mound trying to figure out a quick cure, whatever that might be. Pagan opened up with a double, and Blanco walked. Belt singled to score Pagan. Blanco was caught in a rundown between second and third for an out. But then Posey singled. Then Pence singled. Then Sandoval reached on the error charge to Uribe. And now Crawford walks and drives in a run. Dodgers have been troubling as far as any kind of an offense. They scratched and clawed and came up with 2 runs. That wasn't enough. The night before, they had to work overtime, and they were able to win the game in 10 innings, scoring only 3 runs. And here they are, Giants already 3 on the board. And Nick Noonan, young fella out of Poway, lives in San Diego, went to high school at Parker. And the left-hand batter waiting, golfs one and comes up empty, and the count 0-1. So with all the left-hand hitters, 5 natural left-handers and 2 switch hitters. Noonan has not appeared in the series, so he gets a look tonight. 6'1", 185, 24 years old. This first look with the Giants. The strike 1 pitch on the way. The infield back in double play depth. Nolasco very deliberate now, delivers, drops a breaking ball off the plate, and the count 1-1. So the Giants 3 runs, 4 hits, and we have just 1 out in the first inning. So Tim Lincecum, who in many games did not have much run support, has gotten a bunch in the first inning. Noonan swings, slices a little blooper that's going to be backhanded by second baseman Mark Ellis, and the runners have to hold. So Mark Ellis goes out to make a good play on the blooper off the bat of Noonan. 2 down, and the batter now is Tim Lincecum. Ricky Nolasco, in his major league career before coming to the Dodgers, Nolasco has always done better on the road. Since coming to the Dodgers, he is 4-1 at home and 4-0 on the road. So here's Lincecum batting left-handed. He swings, doesn't get it, and the count 0-1. Lincecum with a bat hitting less than 100. He does have 4 hits, 1 run batted in, but strikes out more than half the time. So 2 out, bases remain loaded. 3-0 Giants. Nolasco ready. Ricky comes back. Breaking ball. That drops low. 1-1 the count. 4 hits, an error, and 2 walks. And the Giants have 3. In his career, Ricky is 4 games under 500 at home and 13 games above 500 on the road. The 1-1 pitch on the way is taken for a strike. 1-2. So Tim Lincecum has 3 in the bank before he even goes to the mound. He has Hunter Pence at third, Pablo Sandoval at second, Brandon Crawford at first. And the 1-2 pitch on the way. Lincecum waits. Nolasco's breaking ball misses. 2-2. The Giants have scored 0-2 runs in 15 of the 29 starts by Tim Lincecum, and he is 3-11 in those starts. So they've given him 3 here in the first inning. He's not accustomed to that. 2-2 the count. Nolasco ready. Here comes Ricky's fastball, grounded to short. Punto feeding Ellis in time, and the inning is finally over. 9 men come to the plate. 3 come home, 3 left, and at the end of half an inning, Giants 3, Dodgers coming up. .29 pitches, but he certainly learned one lesson. The Giant hitters are very, very aggressive. Pagan singled on a 1-0 pitch. Brandon Belt singled on the first pitch. Posey singled 0-1, and Hunter Pence singled 0-1. So they weren't up there looking, they were up there swinging. The Dodgers trying to swing their way back. Yasiel Puig in center and Carl Crawford in left. Adrian Gonzalez at first. Juan Uribe at third. Mark Ellis at second base. Skip Schumacher in right. Tim Fedorovich behind the plate. Nick Punto, the shortstop, and Ricky Nolasco on the hill. On the mound for the Giants, certainly no stranger, Tim Lincecum. He's 9-13, 1-1 this year against the Dodgers, 8-6 lifetime. He has won 3 straight, pitched a no-hitter in July against San Diego. The 2-time Cy Young Award winner has a little 3-game winning streak, and he's been staked to a 3-0 lead. Couple of things about Timmy as his first pitch is grounded up the middle by Yasiel Puig. So Puig trying to lead the Dodgers back with a ground ball single to center, and the batter will be Carl Crawford. You can run on Tim Lincecum. I should say you can. The league right now has been successful in 20 out of 21 stolen base attempts. He's also lost 13 games, so that makes him like 4th in the highest loss column. We can break down why he's struggling as Crawford takes outside, ball 1. Besides the no-hitter, back on August the 8th, he allowed just 1 hit and 1 run in 8 innings. So collectively, he has had 7 starts where his earned run average is 0.7. But in all the other starts, it's almost 6. So, as we have often said, and you've heard it since you were a child, Lincecum, when he is good, is very, very good. And when he is bad, he loses. But again, in 15 of his starts, the Giants haven't gotten any runs. The 1 and 2 hitters in the lineup are hitting .307 against him. The pitch to Crawford is swung on, fouled away. So that holds up upon inspection because Puig walked up and immediately singled. Another thing that is very important with Lincecum, as it is with all pitchers really, but if the batter is ahead of the count, the batting average is .313. If Lincecum is ahead in the count, the batting average is .204. Big difference. 2-1 pitch is pulled foul. 2-2 the count to Carl Crawford. Crawford taking a quick look down at Tim Wallach. Carl batting .281, 5 home runs, 28 runs batted in. Lincecum, right foot on the rubber, looks in to get a sign. Now the right-hander ready and a throw to first. Tim Lincecum, it's not a case of somebody growing old and just hanging on. He's only 29, but he has had a terrific decline from 2007 to 2010. He had won 56 games as Crawford fouls a pitch off. He was 56-27. So that's a great percentage of .675. However, from 2011 through 13, he is 10 games under .500. A terrific turnaround. Those who watched him during those years said that his decline was because he put on more weight. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Crawford, swung on and hit foul. He didn't put the weight on because he was eating bonbons. He put the extra weight on because he thought it would really help him and make him stronger. Instead, it defeated his object. He was never very big. I mean, at his best, he was 165. He was 7 pounds at birth, 21 inches. When he was a freshman in high school, he was 4'11" and weighed 85 pounds. Sophomore, 5'2" and 100 pounds. There goes Puig on a ground ball, gobbled up nicely by Sandoval. The door is open and Puig is at third. Sandoval had to go and field the ground ball. Lincecum should have gone over there to cover, but he didn't. And Puig saw the door open, and the wild horse immediately came over. So on a ground ball to third, with Puig going, he winds up at third base because he never stopped. Belt looked, and by the time he got it back to Sandoval, Puig was at the bag. So a runner at third with 1 out. Puig immediately waking up the house. And now Adrian Gonzalez trying to pick him up. 1 out, first inning, 3-0 Giants. Lincecum's pitch pulled on the ground to Belt. That gets Puig home. Belt goes to the bag, and that makes it 3-1 in favor of the Giants. And Puig getting a round of applause for his all-out efforts, and Gonzalez for picking up the run batted in. For Adrian Gonzalez, by the way, 91 runs batted in now. Big heads-up play by Yasiel Puig. And let's face it, does he ever love to run? So 3-1 Giants. Sandoval, who made a good play on the ball by Crawford, but he couldn't be in 2 places at one. And with that door open, Puig was in there. The first pitch now to Juan Uribe, missing for ball 1. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Just to continue the growth pattern of Tim Lincecum, the 1-0 pitch on the way to Uribe. Ground ball to the hole, backhanded by Crawford. He's a dandy to throw him out. When Lincecum was a junior, he was 5'7", so he's matured up to an even 6. 1 run for the Dodgers, and at the end of an inning, it's 3-1 San Francisco. Go to the second inning. Ricky Nolasco spun around on his shield in the first inning, giving up 4 hits, which will damage his ERA. Since the 1st of August, Jose Fernandez topping the pitchers, followed by Greinke, then Nolasco, Cole Hamels, and Clayton Kershaw. So Ricky ready now, second time around with Pagan, who swings and misses. Give you an idea of how important Pagan was to the Giants last year and why they missed him desperately this year. Last year, he had 38 doubles, 15 triples, and scored 95 runs as he led the Giants to the World Series victory. This time, he grounds out, and we have 1 down in the second inning. Gregor Blanco will be coming up. He walked and ran into the first out of the first inning when he was cut down in a rundown between second and third. So Blanco checking in, and Ricky Nolasco on Hispanic Heritage Day trying to hold on. Ricky turns on the rubber, Blanco waiting. Gregor takes a look at ball 1. 1-0 the count. Blanco, left-hand batter, has hit safely in 19 of the last 24. He takes ball 2. Over that stretch, he's hit .329. However, since the All-Star break overall, he has really struggled, hitting just .231. This time hits one to shallow center, and that's going to land in front of Puig. So Blanco, a little fly ball dunker to center.
For the Giants, number
He
9,
joins the
Brandon
fun.
Belt.
That would be hit number 5 against Ricky Nolasco. And here comes Brandon Belt, who's single to left field. One of the interesting things about Brandon Belt, he avoids hitting into double plays. So the big left-hand batter checks in. Left-hand batter checks, waits. Nolasco looks over at Blanco, a long look, and then he backs off the rubber. Far as Brandon Belt grounding into double plays, he's only hit into 4. So 1 out, second inning, 3-1 Giants. Nolasco delivers and works it low. 1 ball and no strikes. Brandon Belt is also one of the top 10 hitters in night ball. He started the night hitting .314 and had a base hit. The 1-0 pitch is swung on, lifted into shallow center. A trio of Dodgers. Look out. Puig ran Ellis off the ball. So Mark Ellis had an easy catch, and Yasiel, who just cannot stop, came running in and really messed up the play. So Ellis had an easy play, and of course he is remarkably gifted on handling pop flies. Called for it, tried to wave Puig off, and then had to bail out, and Puig had the ball go off his glove. When you hear Yasiel coming, the best thing to do is bail out, and they will give Puig an error for running Ellis off the ball. That's happened a couple of times when Puig was playing right field. And of course, you watch plays like that, and you immediately start to think about the postseason. So 2 on, 1 out, and the first pitch in the dirt to Buster Posey. Good block by Tim Fedorovich. So the Dodgers had an error from Uribe in the first inning. Now they get an error from Puig over hustling. Giants trying to take advantage of it. 2 on, 1 out. Isn't it amazing how quickly you can go from hero to GOAT? And it takes your breath away. 1 minute ago, Puig was scoring a run, going from first to third. Crowd roared as he scored, and now he messes up a pop fly. The 1-0 pitch is way inside to Posey. 2 balls and no strikes. Buster is another fella who hits very well at night. Hitting .308 for the season, hitting .309 at night coming into the game. He is also 3rd in the league with a batting average on the road. He takes a strike. Buster hitting .321 on the road coming into this game. Giants 3 looking for more. Dodgers 1. 1 out, top of the second inning. Now the 2-1 pitch on the way. Nolasco deals inside again, crowding him. 3-1 the count. With the 2 errors tonight by Uribe and Puig, the Dodgers have now made 103 errors. The Giants have made 120. Another reason, I guess, why they're last. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Posey. Nolasco deals, sprayed foul upstairs off to the right, and the count goes 3-2. Well, what about the catcher, Buster Posey? Well, first of all, he is grounded into 14 double plays. That would be 3rd on the club. But he doesn't strike out, not much. 62 times, well over 500 plate appearances. So let's see whether Bruce Bochy runs Blanco and Belt or not. 3-2 the count with 1 out. They are not going. Yes, they are, and it's fouled away. It took them a little while. Afraid, I think, Nolasco might whirl, but Blanco took off, and so did Belt. The Giants have stolen only 62 bases. Bruce's ball club is not constituted to run. Dodgers have stolen 73. but they had hit and run. And of course, Angel Pagan, when Pagan is sound, he's something. He has stolen 9 out of 13. All right, 3-2 the count. We'll see if they go again. Posey waiting, 1 out, second inning, 3-1 Giants. Nolasco ready, runners go, and it's ball 4. So the Giants have the bases loaded yet again. And with 1 out, the batter is the troublesome Hunter Pence. For Rick Honeycutt, he's on the steps talking to Don Mattingly. Ball game can get out of hand in a hurry, especially with Pence. He's homered in 3 of his last 4 games. He's had 7 home runs in his last 17. He had a base hit to center in the first inning. 3-1 Giants. Nolasco ready, and Pence backs off and looks at his strike. So you have Blanco at third, Belt at second, Posey at first, 1 out. Another problem for Nolasco. He's already made 44 pitches, and he's only in the second inning. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Slider low, 1 ball and 1 strike. When you look at the top 10 offensively, you see Pence or Posey in almost everything. Pence is in the top 10 in runs scored, in hits, in total bases, in multi-hit games. I mean, on and on. 1-1 pitch. Hunter swings, hits it into right field. That's going to be a base hit. 2 runs will score. Schumacher gets it back in, going over to third on the base hit. And it is now 5-1 San Francisco with 1 out in the second inning. So Pence, a single to right field. His second hit of the night, picks up 2 more runs batted in as Blanco and Bell carry him in. So at least for the moment, it looks like a rout in favor of the Giants. Posey is now at third. J.P. Howell gets up in the Dodger bullpen, and the Dodgers really shaken here. You talk about a magic number. There's no thought about magic numbers, not tonight. 5-1 San Francisco, 1 out, second inning. However, we promised we would keep track of the Colorado-Arizona game. Last we heard, it was still 2-0 in favor of Arizona. We'll check some more. Yep, still 2-0 Colorado. Wait a minute, this note. Gerardo Parra had a 2-run double to drive in 2 runs, so it is 2-0 Arizona. Meanwhile, a very troubled Rick Honeycutt goes to the mound. A much more troubled Ricky Nolasco standing out there listening to the pitching coach. With 1 out, Blanco singled, pop fly to center, should have been caught by Mark Ellis. Yasiel Puig interfered, rushing in, so he draws the error. But then Posey walked, and Pence a base hit. So the Dodgers have 1 run, 1 hit, 2 errors, and the Giants have 5 runs and a half a dozen hits. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the second, they'll have Ellis, Schumacher, and Fedorovich. So Pablo Sandoval, a switch hitting third baseman, who reached on the error by Juan Uribe, hitting .278, 13 home runs, 73 runs batted in. Sandoval not quite ready, waiting. There's a beach ball loose in left field. That's recovered by the beach ball boy. 1 out, 5-1 Giants, and runners at first and third. Posey and Pence throw to first. Pence back. Remember, he loves to run. Pence has stolen 21 out of 23. So Hunter inching off the bag. Posey down the line from third. And Nolasco checking the corners, comes to Sandoval, who swings and doesn't get it. 0-1. Outside of the other night, when Uribe hit the 3 home runs and the Dodgers went on to hit 6, the offense has been pretty quiet. Reasons, first of all, 4 of the starters getting some rest. Now without Ethier and Ramirez, it's really going to be an uphill battle. Sandoval fouls it away off to the left out of play, and the count 0-2. Final game of the series tomorrow. Ryan Vogelsong and Edinson Volquez. Dodgers then go to Arizona. It'll be Ryu against Cahill, Greinke against Corbin, and Kershaw against McCarthy. Here's the strike 2 pitch on the way. Nolasco set, comes back to Sandoval at his feet. 1-2 to count. For the Dodgers, they really get the feeling they're going to have to do it themselves. They certainly can't rely on Colorado, a team that is 18.5 games back, 12 games under 500. The 1-2 pitch is swung on, and that is whacked into right center. It'll go to the wall. 1 run scores. Here comes Pence, and it is now a rout. Officially 7-1 San Francisco on a long double by Sandoval. So Posey and Pence bring it home. 7 runs, 7 hits. Rick Honeycutt on dial-a-prayer phone in the Dodger dugout. J.P. Howell has been warming up in the bullpen. And the batter now will be Brandon Crawford, and hold everything. Don Mattingly has decided, Hispanic Heritage Day or not, it is time to get Ricky Nolasco out of there. But again, remember, the error by Uribe hurt him in the first inning, and certainly the error by Puig hurt him in the second inning. But he also gave up 7 hits. So Nolasco running for cover. It is 7-1 Giants in the second inning, and we'll be back. Tonight, he allowed 21 runs in his first 12 starts, and he's charged so far with 7. And the only thing you can say to Ricky is, it happens. So now J.P. Howell picking up the pieces, trying to get Crawford and Noonan, 2 left-hand batters, with Sandoval at second base. Still only 1 out. That was the leadoff man, Pagan, who grounded out. You've probably forgotten that. It's been a while ago. Howell out of his stretch, a look back at second, and the left-hander deals, and it's promptly hit on a line, and a great diving catch by Juan Uribe. So Uribe makes a stellar play on a ball that otherwise would have been a double easily, would have scored Sandoval easily. Left-hand hitter, And Juan makes a diving backhand stab of the line drive. So 2 out, and Nick Noonan checking in. 7-1 San Francisco in the second inning. They scored 3 in the first and 4 in the second. Out of a stretch goes Howell and works the first one off the plate. Ball 1, 1-0. The Dodgers, since the 5th of July, has been very, very successful at home. Their record here 18-6. That very well could be in jeopardy tonight. The 1-0 pitch on the way, taken low and away. Ball 2. On deck, Tim Lincecum. So they had 9 men come to the plate in the first inning, and should Noonan get aboard, we will have 9 men having come to the plate in the second inning. The 2-0 pitch on the way to Nick Noonan. J.P. deals, swung on and fouled away, and the count 2-1. They're in the 6th inning. Colorado is at the plate. Arizona leads 2-0. We'll duck in that score all night. They started about an hour ahead of us. We're only in the top of the second, and they're in the 6th. Sandoval, who walked in the first inning, actually reached on an error and now doubled. The 2-1 pitch on the way is swung on and missed. 2-2. So Howell trying to store a little order. 2 balls, 2 strikes. JP plants the left foot, leans on the right leg to look in and get a sign, and the 2-2 pitch coming up to Nick Noonan. A look back at Sandoval. JP delivers, swung on and missed, and mercifully there is the 3rd out. And at the end of an inning and a half, the Giants 7 and the Dodgers 1. Seven to 1 Giants, bottom of the second inning. You know, you can now secure postseason tickets with the purchase of 2014 season tickets. To learn more, you can visit Dodgers.com/season tickets, or you can call a season ticket representative today at 323 Dodgers. Tim Lincecum has to be overcome with runs as he looks down to Mark Ellis. Tim ready, and the right hand is first pitch in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Lincecum at 29 comes right back, and the pitch fouled away. What was interesting for Lincecum last year he was 10 and 15. But if you remember, they used him in relief. And in the postseason, in 13 innings, he allowed 1 run and struck out 17. And by the way, he's going to be a free agent this year unless the Giants re-sign him. 1-2 the count to Mark Ellis. Lincecum comes back. Ellis probably lifts it into shallow left field, and Blanco is right there. He had a good jump and makes the play. 1 out. And Skip Schumacher coming up.
Right fielder, number 55, Skip Schumacher.
7 runs, 7 hits for the Giants. Shockingly, 3 runs in the first inning and came right back with 4. Schumacher hitting .268, 2 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Lincecum into the windup, delivers, and the pitch low and away, ball 1, 1-0. We usually talk about it once every time we see Lincecum. Audiences change, of course. The 1-0 pitch is outside, ball 2. It's because he is so unusual in his delivery. Again, basically, the stride by a pitcher is about 80%. The pitch is in for a strike. So if, let's say, you're 6 feet tall, you figure your stride is going to be about 4 feet 8 inches. That would be normal for any pitcher. The 2-1 pitch is flared over the head of Sandoval into left field for a base hit. Well, what makes Tim Lincecum so different, why he got the nickname of the Freak, is the fact that his stride is 129%. So his stride normally is 7.5 feet instead of 4 feet 8 inches. You can see a landing area in front of him as he lifts his left leg, and then the long stride is an inch or 2 past the landing area. And the first time people saw him, they thought, well, he's going to wreck his arm. There's no way he can pitch, but he can pitch. 2 Cy Young awards. Meanwhile, Tim Fedorovich up there with Schumacher at first, 1 out, 2nd inning, 7-1 San Fran. 1-0 pitch on the way is swung on and missed. 1-1 the count. Fedorovich hitting .239, 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Hitting back of him is Nick Punto. Lincecum at the belt. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. Fedorovich out in front of it. He was looking fastball, and he got a little slider. 1-2. A.J. Ellis played last night, went 0 for 3, robbed on a remarkable diving catch by Juan Perez. 1-2 pitch is hit in the air, slicing foul down the right field line and out of play. Dodgers trying to win their 87th. The Giants have won 67. Atlanta has won 88. Cardinals 86. And the Dodgers 86 going into the game. 1-2 the count. Lincecum ready. Here he comes, and it's foul back out of play. That goes into fastball alley. Anytime that ball comes back into the second deck behind home plate, you know it was a fastball. That was 92. Lincecum set below the belt, comes back in the dirt. Fedorovich swings, doesn't get it, and down he goes for the 2nd out. How good was Tim Lincecum? Talking in the past tense only because he won the Cy Young Award in back-to-back years. Only 4 pitchers in the National League won the Cy Young Award in back-to-back seasons. Greg Maddux, well, the great Maddux did it 4 straight. And the great Randy Johnson did it 4 straight. Sandy Koufax did it 2 in a row, and Tim Lincecum. And that's it. So here now is Nick Punto batting left-handed, takes off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Dodgers buried under an avalanche of runs. 7-1 Giants. 2nd inning. 1 ball and no strikes. Punto hitting .255. 21 runs batted in. Hitting left-handed, takes low. So Lincecum falls behind 2-0. We told you going in that you can run on Lincecum, but the Dodgers running game has been pretty well snuffed out with the score 7-1. Tim at the belt looks over at first. The pitch to Punto, in for a strike. Jerry Hairston is out on deck. He'll be batting for J.P. Howell. 2 down. Jerry loosening up last night. Wound up playing right field after Ethier went out with the bad ankle. 2-1 pitch on the way is swung on and foul back, and the count 2-2. Ethier's sore ankle. He was wearing a boot on that foot to ease the pain and try to help him a little bit. Hanley Ramirez has a nerve problem in his back that affects his leg. So we'll just have to wait and see how each man heals and when he's coming back. 2-2 pitch coming up to Punto, swung on and foul back. And although the Dodgers realize they have a comfortable lead, I mean, let's face it, they're 12.5 games in front of Arizona. 15 games left, counting tonight. So one thing they're not going to do is force any players to play if they are slightly banged up, and trying to give the veterans like Crawford and Gonzalez some time off. But you can do all of that, but you have to win. 2-2 pitch on the way. Punto swings, slaps it towards left center. Cruising over is Pagan, and that'll be that. No runs, a hit, a man left. And at the end of 2, 7-1, San Francisco. Lincecum, followed by Angel Pagan and Gregor Blanco. Another look over in Arizona, and it's all Diamondbacks. They lead Colorado 4-0, bottom of the 6th. Oswald has been chased, allowed only 2 runs in 4 2/3. Wade Miley is pitching a 3-hit shutout into the 6th. Gerard Opara, the right fielder, is 2 for 3, and he's knocked in 3. Meanwhile, the Dodgers now will have Stephen Fife come in and pick up, going against Lincecum, Pagan, and Blanco. Lincecum, leading 7-1, has made 31 pitches in 2 innings. He is 0 for 1, hit into a force play. Fife misses, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Temperature at 80 degrees at the start of the game, and it's still there. The pitch in for a strike, 1-1. Stephen Fife, 6'3", 215, out of Boise, Idaho. He'll be 27 years old in October. and misses to fall behind 2-1. Steven was originally drafted by the Red Sox in the 3rd round out of the University of Utah. That was back in 2008. Lincecum promptly swings and hits it into left field for a base hit. That'll be the 8th hit for the Giants, so they're having a feast here. And the batter will be Angel Pagan. So hit number 1 off Fife. Giants had 7 runs and 7 hits against Nolasco. Angel Pagan opened up the game with a double and scored. Last time up, grounded out. Fife looks in to get a sign. Pagan, switch hitter, batting left-handed. Out of his stretch comes Fife, and the first pitch goes to the backstop, and down to second base on the wild pitch goes Lincecum. So this is not exactly the kind of a show the Dodgers wanted to put on tonight. Tonight they have the 26th sellout of the year. But it is also one of those nights they pop up during the course of 162. So Fife lets one sail to the backstop. Lincecum's at second, and a 1-ball no strike count on Angel Pagan. Giants want to go up on the Dodgers and win 8 of the 15. The 1-0 pitch swung on, lifted to right field. Tagging up is Lincecum. Schumacher makes the catch. One hops it in to Punto, and Lincecum holds on. So 1 away, and Gregor Blanco coming up. So Pagan hit it right on the button, but right at Schumacher. Blanco walked, was caught in a rundown between second and third, and then came up in the second inning and singled to center, and eventually worked his way around to score. One out, third inning, 7-1 in favor of the Dodgers. Fife out of his stretch, Steven delivers, and he's a little high. Ball 1, 1-0. When Stephen Fife was a youngster, he was on the team that represented Boise, Idaho in the 1999 Little League World Series. The 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on, banged into center, base hit. Puig picks it up. Stopping at third is Lincecum. Puig dropped it after he picked it up, but Lincecum was not had any thought of trying to score. So Blanco is singled. Stopping at third is Lincecum, and the batter is Brandon Belt. Belt singled and then hit the pop fly. Mark Ellis went out, waved with his right hand that he would take care of it. Puig was looking at the ball, not at Mark Ellis. And then at the last second, when Puig was about ready to run up his back, Ellis bailed out, and then the ball went off Puig's glove for an error. Just part of the problems, just a small part of the Dodger problems tonight. So 7-1 in favor of the Giants, and a ground ball into right field, a base hit for Belt. Lincecum scores. Stopping at second base is Blanco. It is 8-1. Ocho. So Brandon Belt comes up with his second hit, his second run batted in. Blanco now at second base. Lincecum brings it in. So Fife comes in and gives up 3 hits and a run. Posey has singled and walked. Right hand hitting catcher waiting, and first pitch to him in for a strike. 0-1. On deck, Hunter Pence. Posey hitting .308, 15 home runs, 71 RBIs. He has scored twice. Strike one pitch on the way. 5 deals, and that's low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dodgers added 2 men to their roster. They brought up Alex Castellanos, and of course Alex has been up before, an outfielder. 1-1 pitch off the plate, ball 2, 2-1. And they also brought up another outfielder from Albuquerque. We've never seen him before. Nick Buss, B-U-S-S. His nickname is Chili. So Castellanos and Buss have joined the Dodgers. They now have 35 players, 2 of them ailing. 2-1 pitch is grounded foul outside of third. 2-2 the count to Buster Posey. Don't forget tomorrow the concluding game of the series with the Giants and of the homestand. So after tomorrow, the Dodgers have only 3 games left in the regular season at home. September 27, 28, and 29 with Colorado. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Buster. Swung on, ground ball to Uribe, down to Ellis for 1. Turns it to first, not in time. So Posey beats the throw to first. Blanco is now at third. That removed Belt from the base paths. And the batter will be Hunter Pence. Hunter Pence, 2 singles tonight. Last night's game, he had a single and a home run. He has 3 RBIs as he checks in. Pence waiting. Fife delivers. Big overhand curveball that drops in for a strike. Pence in the first game, and maybe that sent the message he was going to have a big series. His first at bat against Zach Greinke in the second inning. He hit that fly ball home run right down the right field line. Puig thought he had a play all the way the other night, and the ball went into the stands. And it was enough to scratch your head figuring out how in the world a right-hand batter hits a home run against Zach Greinke to right field. But it happened. 1 ball and 1 strike. The next pitch swung on, slow roller. Uribe has to go down to get it, guns it to first, and that's the inning. So they finally get Pence. He's 2 for 3. Fife gives up 1, and at the end of 2.5 innings, 8-1 Giants. And Derek Sutherland of the United States Air Force being honored, saluted by the crowd. And that reminds us to give you a little footnote on the plate umpire, Brian Knight. Brian Knight's brother, believe it or not, he is a staff sergeant, Kevin Knight, United States Marine Corps. And Kevin has done 5 tours of duty in Iraq and Afghanistan. And Brian, meanwhile, calling balls and strikes. Imagine the thoughts that Brian has, seeing a young staff sergeant being saluted here tonight. Meanwhile, Stephen Fife starting it off. Arizona 4, Colorado nothing. They're in the 6th inning. Gerardo Parra has doubled in a run. He's knocked in 3. But Colorado trying to come back in the top of the 7th inning. They have scored twice. 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. Rockies have gotten to Wade Miley for 2 runs. They've knocked him out. They are still at bat. Arizona 4, Colorado 2 in the 7th inning. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and that'll do it for Fife. 1 away. A reminder, the Dodgers face those Rockies Saturday, September 28th. First 40,000 fans in attendance receive their own Dodgers sleeved blanket. Compliments of Farmer John. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotion. So Lincecum picks up his 2nd strikeout. Puig at the plate. Lincecum into the windup and the pitch to Yasiel high, ball 1. He hit the first pitch for a base hit in the 1st inning. So he has been truly remarkable hitting the first pitch. The fellow we were talking about is coming up, believe it or not. The pitch to Puig inside. Nick Chili Buss, B-U-S-S, comes out on deck. He's ready to make his big league debut. Nice way to debut against a 2-time Cy Young Award winner. Puig takes inside, ball 3. 3-0 the count. Puig waits, 3-0 pitch. Outside, ball 4. So Yasiel draws the walk. That's a little frustrating for Lincecum. You're leading 8-1, and you walk a hitter, but it's in the books now. And now here is Chili Buss. He's a Michigan native, and he had a good year in Albuquerque. He's 26 years old. He hit .303 with 17 home runs and 100 RBIs. He was a Pacific Coast All-Star, and he was on the postseason All-Coast League team as well. So this is our first look at him. And the first pitch he takes on the inside corner for a strike. Late breaking slider, 0-1. He's basically a corner outfielder, in other words left or right. He ended up the season on a rush hitting .323. Swings, hits a high fly ball. It's playable. It's going to go right into Pagan's glove. So Buss in his major league debut, a fly ball to center, and he will stay in the game and finish up in left field for Carl Crawford. So we have 2 down here in the 3rd inning. Puig standing, and Adrian Gonzalez the batter. He grounded out to Brandon Belt in the 1st inning. Adrian, 159 hits, 91 runs batted in, and the pitch to him is swung on, pulled to Belt. Brandon takes it to the bag, and that's that. No runs, no hits, a walk and a man left, and at the end of 3, 8-1 Giants. Second play worthy to look at. That would be a diving catch by Juan Uribe on a bullet heading down the left field line. Great play by Juan, taking a base hit away. Was hit by Brandon Crawford. Marvelous play. As we go to the fourth inning, however, it's all Giants, 8-1. Nick Buss, who batted for Crawford, figured, stayed in the game. He's in left field. So the boyish looking left fielder making his big league debut. Meanwhile, Pablo Sandoval reached on an error and doubled. Pablo hitting .279, 13 home runs, 75 runs batted in. Off speed drops in, 0-2 the count. Giants scored 3 in the first inning on 4 hits and an error, and came right back with 4 more in the second inning. Line drive and another leaping backhand catch by Uribe. I tell you, there's a lot of competition, but he gets applause from his teammates. Uribe has been playing Gold Glove third base without a doubt. Nobody expected it, but it seemed like he handles almost everything and then comes up with the super plays. So his buddy Puig giving him a quiet round of applause in center field. One down. The batter is Crawford, walked and lined out. Brandon was robbed by Uribe in the second inning. 257, 9 home runs, 42 runs batted in. Crawford, a young player, and has a great future with the Giants. In fact, Jake Dunning was a shortstop and became a pitcher, and when they asked Dunning, why did you switch, he said Brandon Crawford. Well, Brandon Crawford has been with the Giants since 2011. He's only 26. 2-1. 2-2. For Crawford, a headliner 2 years ago. His first major league hit was a grand slam home run against Milwaukee. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Little nubber, fair ball. Fedorovich will nail him. 2 down.
Batting next, number 21.
Nick Noonan, the young second baseman, popped up, struck out, 0 for 2. 8 runs, 10 hits for the Giants. 1 run, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Giants have a couple of doubles, all the rest singles, and the Dodgers chipped in, committing 2 errors. Ricky Nolasco charged with 7. Stephen Fife has given up 1. And that's ball 1. One ball and no strikes. That evens it up, 1-1. Tim Lincecum on deck. Lincecum 1 for 2. Ball 2 to Noonan. So Nolasco, then Howell, and Stephen Fife. 2-2. It is 4-2 Arizona batting in the bottom of the 7th, leading Colorado by 2. Noonan handcuffed on a breaking ball in, and for the first time tonight the Giants are retired in order, and at the end of 3.5 innings, 8-1 San Francisco. Farmer Boys. Get an award-winning Farmer's Burger topped with farm-fresh veggies, cheese, bacon, and avocado. By Chase. Send money to almost anyone, anywhere with your smartphone. Chase Quick Pay, so you can. And by El Pollo Loco. Crazy you can taste. Bottom of the fourth inning, the Giants way out in front, 8-1. Dodgers never recovering from 3 in the first and 4 in the second inflicted by the Giants. However, they'll have Uribe, Mark Ellis, and Schumacher in that order. It's not going to be tonight, apparently, and we say that as far as the reduction of the magic number. It's 4. It doesn't look like the Dodgers are going to be able to change it, and Arizona is now leading Colorado 6-2 in the 7th inning. Among other things, Aaron Hill hit a home run. Uribe grounded to short in the first inning. So Lincecum, who is accustomed to not getting very many runs for support, has gotten a bucket fill tonight, leading 8-1. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Two and 2 the count to Uribe. Hunter Pence having a big night and a big series. Pence with 3 RBIs tonight. That means he's had 34 runs batted in since the 1st of August. 2 and 2. And Uribe, down he goes, 1 out. For Lincecum, that would be his 3rd strikeout.
Dodgers second baseman, number 14.
And it'll be Mark Ellis coming up. And looking at Timmy, he's had 2 big strikeout games. They were back-to-back. He struck out 11 Mets in July 8th, came right back and struck out 13 Padres on July 13th. Ellis, a high fly ball heading for Angel Pagan's glove. 2 down. And the batter, Skip Schumacher, single to left in the second inning.
Skip Schumacher.
You know, when Lincecum, and I was just looking at the pitch count, he's made 48 pitches. When he pitched his no-hitter against San Diego July 13th, he made 148 pitches, which brought to mind the thought that Edwin Jackson pitched a no-hitter against Tampa Bay. He made 149, and certainly Dave Righetti would understand how that is such a drag on anybody. 148 pitches for Tim Lincecum, who's about 165 pounds after Thanksgiving dinner. 0-2. Ball 1. Interesting too, in talking about his no-hitter, when Homer Bailey pitched his second no-hitter back in June, the losing pitcher, you're looking at him. 2-2. So right away you say to yourself, has that ever happened? A losing pitcher in a no-hitter comes back and pitches a no-hitter. The only time that ever happened was back in 1906. A pitcher by the name of Mal Eason. And wouldn't you know, he was with Brooklyn. 3-2. And ball 4. That's the second walk given up by Tim Lincecum, and the batter will be Tim Fedorovich.
Coming to the plate, number 18, Tim Fedorovich.
Fedorovich struck out in the second inning, 0 for 1. 8 runs, 10 hits for the Giants. 1 run, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Bottom of the 4th. Oh, and 1. Giants and the Dodgers always a great draw. Even though the Giants are in last place, we have had 3 consecutive sellouts. The first game, 53,393. That was Magic Johnson's bobblehead night. Last night we had 52,650. And tonight we'll have the 26th sellout and the 3rd consecutive. 1 and 2. And tomorrow, Giants and Dodgers one more time. Vogelsong and Volquez. V for victory. Ryan sitting right behind him. Fine left-hander, Madison Bumgarner. Bumgarner and Kershaw have become good pals. Left-handers, both outstanding young pitchers and outstanding young men. So it figured. And down goes Fedorovich, dropped at the plate, tagged by Posey, and that's it. 4 strikeouts for Tim Lincecum. Dodgers leave a man. The end of 4, 8-1, San Francisco. And we are slowly but surely running out of schedule as far as home games are concerned. Last game in this series with the Giants tomorrow. Dodgers hit the road then, going to Arizona, San Diego, and San Francisco. And then the final 3, 27, 28, 29 with Colorado. Colorado losing in Arizona 6-2 the last we checked, 7th inning. Stephen Fife ready to go to work, and it'll be Tim Lincecum and a strike. We were talking about Timmy and no-hitters and Homer Bailey and a losing pitcher and a no-hitter coming back and pitching a no-hitter. The Yankees remember a very talented left-hander who is now the pitching coach and has been for many years with San Francisco. That would be Dave Righetti. And Dave threw a no-hitter for the Yankees at Yankee Stadium against the Boston Red Sox. That was the 4th of July, 1983. And that was the first Yankee no-hitter since 1956. 27 years. Because in 1956, Don Larson pitched the perfect game in the World Series. 2-2. And hit down the line. Fair ball. Third base umpire Dan Iasanya indicating. So Lincecum holding on. So he has 2 hits tonight. Lincecum had only 4 hits all year.
Center fielder number 16, Angel Pagan.
Line drive down the left field line. just inside the chalk. 2 for 3 for Tim Lincecum. For Fife, the 4th hit he's allowed. Giants now have hit 11. And the batter, Angel Pagan, who doubled, grounded out, flied to right. 1 for 3. Boy, what a difference the years make in thinking about Don Larson pitching the perfect game. Ball 1. Mel Allen did the first half of that game. It just worked out that way, and I was going to do the second half. And I certainly deferred to Mel, a marvelous announcer, really king of the hill with great all-around ability. Check swing foul, 1-1. So when Mel started, instead of saying he hasn't pitched a no-hitter, all he did was add up the outs. So a hitter would ground out. He'd say that's the 8th out. That's the 9th consecutive out. That's the 13th consecutive out. That is the 15th consecutive out. And back then, I thought, holy mackerel, if the great Mel Allen is not going to say no-hitter, who am I to do it on a World Series and a possible perfect game? So, as you look at Matt Cain, who knows all about it, I started, that's the 16th consecutive out, the 18th, the 20th, etc. And in retrospect, I'm almost ashamed of myself for having done that. But I was younger. Today, or for that matter, for the last 50 years, I would say by the 7th inning, he's not only pitching a no-hitter. Call your friends. Join in the fun. And we'd alert the engineer. Tape it. We'd give it to him. Yeah, when I saw and listened to just 2 outs of that telecast, I went back to watching football. It was in the winter when Major League Baseball first started its channel. Meanwhile, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lincecum at first, Pagan up there. They're in the 8th inning. Arizona leading 6-2 over Colorado. Little roller, foul ball. So the magic number has lost its magic, I think, for tonight. Hagman for Pagan. Handcrafted for. 2-2. And ball 3. One of the nicest men in the game is Harry Minor, who for many years was a scout for the New York Mets. And the Mets truly appreciate him, as they should. And he's going to enter the Mets Hall of Fame late in September. And after looking at Pagan's bat, it reminds me. 3-2 and ball 4. Harry uses a cane, but it is not a cane, really. It's a bat. He has a big rubber suction cup at the end of it, and then the bat, the handle, eventually at the very end of it, has a turn, and it's a Louisville Slugger with his name made especially for Harry Minor. It just came to mind looking at Pagan's bat. Great to see Harry out here tonight. All right, first and second. Fife facing Blanco and then Belt. Nobody out. 8-1 San Francisco. And ball 1. Blanco, 2 singles. Walked in the first inning. Singled in the second. Singled in the third. Hitting .265. Giants have 11 hits and 8 runs. Dodgers have 2 hits and 1 run. Blanco has hit safely in 20 of the last 25 games. One of the big contributions for Blanco is coming off the bench as a pinch hitter. He's 8 for 17. 2 balls, no strike. 2 on, nobody out. Blanco the hitter and Brandon Belt on deck. That's a strike. Tim Lincecum has 2 singles. He's had 3 multiple hit games in his career. He had a 3-hit game here at Dodger Stadium. That was back in 2010. He had 2 hits at home against the Cubs this year. And so far, 2 hits tonight. Tim Lincecum. Remember Timmy with the long hair? That's long gone. Used to be down at his shoulders. Got rid of that. 2 on, nobody out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball 3. Waiting on deck, Brandon Belt. And down goes Blanco. Second strikeout for Stephen Fife. Fox Sports Live, the sports and headlight show you've been highlighting for and waiting for, well, is here. Fox Sports Live, airing nightly on Fox Sports 1. Give it a look. You'll like what you see. 1 away. Belt 2 singles and hit the pop fly when Puig ran Ellis off an easy out, and it wound up an error for Yasiel. Good slow breaking ball. Belt striding in, but it came up there at 79, so Brandon pretty well locked in. Clayton Kershaw was talking about Belt. He was talking about Belt to Madison Bumgarner, talking about what a fine young hitter he is, and he remembers facing Belt in Texas. Brandon from Nacogdoches. You have Brett Pill, a right-hand hitting first baseman, and Brandon Belt, each man 6'5". Little pop fly back a third down the line, and it's a fair ball. Uribe couldn't make the catch, and the bases are loaded. So Brandon Belt, just a little blooper. He will take it gladly. He now has 3 hits in the game. Pagan is now at second. Lincecum is at third. 1 out, and the batter is Buster Posey. For Uribe, maddeningly close. He's already made a couple of circus catches down there, but not this time. So the Giants have loaded him up here in the 5th inning, leading 8-1. Posey single a lap, walk, and hit into a force play. So Lincecum, Pagan, and Belt. Slow curveball in for a strike. 0-1 to Buster. Posey has scored twice tonight. 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. Good block by Fedorovich. Buster Posey, coming into the game, was 0 for his last 10 at bats, so he's made up for that with a base hit and a walk. He's playing with a small fracture on the tip of his right finger. And actually, it happened when he was catching. Bumgarner bounced a pitch, He tried to catch it and his bare hand was hurt. Little fly ball. Puig, a diving catch, and then gets up. Holding at third base was Lincecum, and Yasiel hustling as usual, and now he's shaken up. Mattingly has already lost Ethier and Ramirez for a little while. Now he had a wince on that fly ball. Puig, a little bit of a late start, which is why he had to make the catch. And he was hurting a little bit, but appears to be okay now. The Buster Posey. Little fly ball with the bases loaded. Nice catch up on his feet. He's hurting a little bit. 2 out. And now Hunter Pence. Ball 1. Pence playing in his 149th game. Having a big game. He is 2 for 3, knocked in 3, scored a run, and hitting .292. And up there with a chance to score some more. With 3 RBIs tonight. He's just been on a tear. Another thing about Pence, he is the 7th Giant in history to do something. And he hits a drive to dead center. Back goes Puig. It's over his head. Over the wall. Hunter Pence hits a grand slam home run. It is 12-1 Giants. And Pence has 7 runs batted in tonight. Well, we were going to tell you he's only the 7th Giant to hit 20 home runs and steal 20 bases. The first since Barry Bonds did it back in 1998. Who are the others? Well, Bobby Bonds, Willie Mays, Jeff Leonard, Orlando Cepeda, Glenn Allen Hill, and now Hunter Pence. What a game for Hunter. It's his 4th grand slam, but 7 runs batted in. Wow. And that gives him, since August 1, it gives him 38 runs batted in. So the Giants had just run away with the game. They actually did that in their first 2 innings. They lead 12-1. Onelki Garcia, the left-hander whom we saw come in, pitch to one batter, walk the batter, and they took him out. This is a perfect game for Onelki Garcia to get some experience. 1-1. And ball 2. So Stephen Fife had a chance to impress tonight. You know, you're thinking about postseason, but he's given up 5 runs. Little roller. It'll be Mark Ellis to shovel it, and that'll be that. But that is 4 more runs, and we're heading to the bottom of the 5th inning in the wreckage. Giants 12, Dodgers 1. we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. You know, you can now secure postseason tickets with the purchase of 2014 season tickets. And to learn more, visit Dodgers.com/season tickets or call a season ticket representative today at 323-DODGERS. The youngsters are here watching the Dodgers get a little bit older tonight at the expense of the Giants. San Francisco 12 runs, 13 hits. Dodgers 1 run, 2 hits, 2 errors. Tim Lincecum benefiting. And an interesting note on Hunter Pence, who just hit that grand slam home run. Believe it or not, Hunter's last grand slam came exactly 1 year ago today against Arizona. So congratulations to Hunter, having a huge game. Nick Punto in a hole now, no balls, 2 strikes. You realize with Pence, 7 RBIs tonight. He's driven in 38 runs since the 1st of August. So that passes Matt Holliday and Martin Prado. Pence with 7 RBIs tonight. So he has now had 89 runs batted in this year. Needless to say, a very, very good player out of Arlington, Texas. Punto, ground ball to Brandon Belt. Just like that, 1 away. Well, they're in the bottom of the 8th inning over in Arizona, and the magic number, boys, will stay at 4 as the Diamondbacks are leading the Rockies now 9-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Alex Castellanos, who just was called up along with Nick Buss. Castellano has been here before, so Alex checks in. So they'll be in the outfield, and he skies one into deep right center. Pence at the wall, gone. Castellanos, big long strides, comes flying around. Home run against a Cy Young winner, Tim Lincecum. That makes it 12-2. We'll go back to find out if Castellanos had hit any prior to tonight. So Alex drives it out. Not really a hero's welcome, not when you're being buried. Yasiel Puig, a strike, 0-1. Let's take another look for the Alex Castellanos Marching and Chowder Society. Oh, as Puig is hit by a pitch. And you can see, touching his chest, Lincecum was saying, my fault, my fault. I mean, there's no way he's throwing at anybody leading 12-2. So a pitch up and in, got him on that shoulder, which he usually holds just under his chin. For Tim Lincecum, that would be the 5th batter that he has hit this year. He's never been accused of being a headhunter. Ground ball into right field. That's a base hit for Buss. Well, they will get the ball for him. So Nick Buss, his first major league hit. And against Tim Lincecum. So Nick from Michigan, we really don't know very much about him, except he finished up with a roar at Albuquerque and hit over 300. And they get the ball for him. Take another look. Fastball, and he stroked it into right field. See that top hand roll over, and he shoots it into right. So if nothing else, nice night for 2 fellows that just called up. Castellanos hits a home run, and Buss gets his first major league hit. Puig is at third, 1 run in, 12-2 Giants, and the batter Adrian Gonzalez 0-1. In checking on Castellanos, Alex hit his first major league home run last year. Kind of nice, though, to be called up and your first at bat with the big club, and you hit another. Adrian trying to get Puig home at least from third as Alex looks on. That's off the plate. Dodgers will probably play Castellanos, only a guess. Maybe even rest Puig and just move Schumacher to center. We'll see. And that's going to be hit into left center for a base hit. Rounding second and diving back is Buss. So Adrian, a fly ball single that cashes in Puig. It makes it 12-3 Giants. 92 RBIs for Adrian. Puig, after making the diving catch, then hit by a pitch. Now Righetti goes out to talk to Lincecum. Timmy's in the 5th inning, and among other things, I'm sure he does not have to be reminded, hey, as a starting pitcher, you have to go 5 innings, and you haven't done that. I mean, here you are leading by 9 runs, and you've worked 4 and the 3rd inning. You don't want to blow that. So here's Uribe, grounded to short and struck out. 2 on, 2 out, 2 in. And a high fly ball down the left field line. Blanco is going to make the catch, and the runners have to hold. So Uribe just missing, get enough of it. 2 down. Mark Ellis coming up. Giants 12 runs, 13 hits. Dodgers 3 runs, 5 hits. Lincecum has made 30 starts, and he's completed 1 game. He's in the 5th with a big cushion, and he's made 70 pitches. Fastball for a strike. So for a guy who made 148 pitches when he pitched his no-hitter, he's only averaging 14 pitches an inning so far. 0-1. That drops in. So Ellis in a hole, no balls and 2 strikes. In the inning, Castellanos with 1 out homered. Puig hit by a pitch. Buss singled him to third. Gonzalez singled him home. And that's lifted into center. Pagan is there. So the Dodgers huff and puff and get 2 and trail 12-3. And Mike Piazza was a rookie. He hit 2 home runs, 29 and 30. That broke a record for home runs by a rookie catcher. Matt Noakes with Detroit had already done it. Dodgers won that game. They won it 5-3 thanks to the 2 home runs. And Oral Hershiser was the winning pitcher. One other note, Piazza wound up that year hitting 35 home runs. And with that, let's go back to this one.
Remaining in the game, now playing right field, number 26, Alex Castellanos.
Dodgers make an anticipated change. Castellanos now goes into right field. Buss was already in left field, and Schumacher moves to center, which means Puig will have the rest of the night off, and Onelki Garcia coming in. He's a young fella from Cuba, doesn't speak much English, faced one batter and walked him, and they took him out of the game. Onelki, Onelki, from Guantanamo, the city of Guantanamo. There's also, as you know, a big naval air base. Hitting for Brandon Crawford is a switch hitter for the Giants, A-Ray Adrianza. Fouls it back. 12-3 in favor of San Francisco. Of course, this is the time of year they bring up players from the minor leagues, many of whom you've never heard of, but youngsters just starting off their big career. Adrianza, his first name Ehire. He's from Venezuela. He was signed as a free agent by the Giants 7 years ago. He is the godson of Ozzie Guillen, who was the White Sox manager. Adrianza, a switch hitter, 24 years old, chopper up the middle. Punto, nice hit to get him. So A-Ray Adrianza rounding out, one away. And the batter, Nick Noonan.
Second baseman, number 21, Nick Noonan.
In all honesty, the game starting to look more and more like a spring training game, as happens once in a while. It's just too bad you had a blowout with a sellout crowd. So Garcia's gotten an out, 1 down. Noonan has popped up, struck out twice. Two and 0. Anybody who tunes in late, not knowing really the score or what's taking place, would have to know something's up. Garcia is pitching. The Dodger outfield is Buss, Schumacher, and Castellanos. The name really is Hunter Pence. Pence is worth at least a pound. At least. 7 RBIs tonight. Hunter with 2 singles and a grand slam home run. Giants scored 3 in the first, 4 in the second. The game was just about over then. Then they added 1 more in the third, and then 4 more in the fifth. Well, with a runner at first, time now for our Twitter poll. Let's talk a little bit about Yasiel Puig. Where would you like him hitting in your lineup? Leading off, hitting second or third, or cleanup? So hashtag Puig lead off, Puig second, Puig third, or Puig cleanup, and we'll let you know. Lincecum up there with 1 out and a man at first. Tim with 2 hits. Twice hitting left-handed. He singled to left field, and he has scored twice. 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. I keep thinking how some people must be looking at this game tonight. I came here to see Shakespeare, and I've seen the Marx Brothers. But that's baseball. 2-1. Ball 3. Fedorovich out now to talk to Garcia. Baseball players really don't need the English language. There are a lot of terms in the game they all understand, like strikes and balls, fastball, curve, etc. For Anelke, fastball, curveball, he has a slider and a change, but he's basically a power pitcher. He's 6'3" and 220. Strike. 3-2. He admitted, Mike Brito, the Dodgers scout, told us that Anelke said he was frightened when he came in to pitch the other night and walked a hitter. Slow chopper, Uribe, nice scoop to get him. Down to second base goes Noonan, and we have 2 out in the 6th inning.
Center fielder, number 16,
And the batter now will be Pagan. Had a fly ball double, then grounded out, fly to right, walked. He has scored twice. Meanwhile, there are seating available in the Giant bullpen. They're restless. Nothing to do. Funny sight. Actually, the orchestra left. Good breaking ball for a strike. 0-1. When you ask through the interpreter to Garcia about Guantanamo City, what is it that you love the most? And he answered, the mountains. Fastball hit foul out of play. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. 12-3 in favor of the Giants. 12 runs, 13 hits for the Giants. Dodgers 3 runs, 5 hits. Foul back. Final score over in Arizona. The Diamondbacks are not accustomed to losing at home to Colorado, and they did last night. But they've now beaten them tonight 9-2, and they've now beaten them 7 of 9 at home. Another foul ball, still 0-2. Giants high in runs scored this year, 14. They did it in Miami. Check swing. It'll cost him strike 3, and the inning is over. So Anelke Garcia pitches a full inning in his young major league career. No runs, no hits, a man left. 12-3 San Fran. The owner suite is available free on iPhone and iPad. You can make decisions, guide your team to the World Series. So download MLB Ballpark Empire free today. Data and usage rates may apply. 0-1 the count to the leadoff hitter. And that would be Skip Schumacher, who has singled and walked 1 for 1. Giants have changed a couple of players. The shortstop is now Adrianza taking over for Crawford. Francisco Figueroa is in left field. Gregor Blanco has moved to center, so Pagan is out of the game. No balls, 2 strikes. Ball 1. Lincecum now in line for the win. He went the required 5. He has a very good chance now of making it 4 in a row, and he's only made 73 pitches through 5 innings. So he's doing okay. Lincecum learned to pitch from his father. He taught him well, and Schumacher strikes out. That would be the 5th strikeout for Lincecum, and we have 1 down. We told you that the league's really running wild on Lincecum. They've stolen 20 out of 21. But the Dodgers aren't even thinking about a stolen base, down by 9 runs. So he has satisfied that problem immediately. Way out in front is Fedorovich. Oh, and 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's hit in the air to right field. Hunter Pence. 2 down, 6th inning, and Nick Punto coming up. Tomorrow, the Dodgers trying to salvage a split in the 4-game series, and also trying to whittle the magic number down to 3. It'll be Ryan Vogelsong for San Francisco. Vogelsong will come in tomorrow with a record of 3-5. So it's been a long year for Ryan. His earned run average 5.8, almost 6. For the Dodgers, Edinson Volquez. Volquez came over to the Dodgers 9-11. He is 0-1. His earned run average is almost 6. So tomorrow's game very much up in the air. The V-men, Vogelsong and Volquez. The paid attendance, the 3rd consecutive and the 26th sellout of the year. 53,062, and they were here, but quite a few have moved on a Saturday night at 8:23 p.m. Dodgers first in the majors. They've drawn over 3.5 million. As we said, 26 sellout. So the Dodgers are certainly indebted to the loyalty of their fans. They're averaging better than 45,000 a game. Check swing. Punto still up there. Borderline pitch. 2-2 the count. And Punto, angry at himself, strikes out. Lincecum strikes out 2. And we have 6 innings in the book. It's not a bestseller in Los Angeles. 12-3 Giants. Dodger Baseball on Prime Ticket is brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. By CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. By Toyota's nationwide clearance event. Now you can save big on every Toyota car, truck, and SUV. And by Captain Morgan. Raise your glass, always in moderation. We have reached the 7th inning. It's been an uphill climb. The Giants lead 12-3. Tim Lincecum sitting back, cooling off, relaxed, sitting on a 9-run cushion. Blanco, who started in left, finishing in center, has walked 2 singles and struck out, scored a run, and was caught in a rundown in the 1st inning. 2-0. Dodgers started with Ricky Nolasco. Ricky, who's been brilliant with the Dodgers, just had one of those nights. 50 pitches and charged with 7 runs. J.P. Howell briefly. Stephen Fife struggled and gave up 5 more. And now Onelki Garcia. And the Dodger outfield features, among others, Nick Buss and Alex Castellanos, and the pitcher Onelki Garcia. Ball 3. Vogelsong and Volquez tomorrow at 1:10. Dodgers go to Arizona. Ryu and Trevor Cahill. Greinke against Patrick Corbin, and Kershaw against Brandon McCarthy. Question was, looking at this homestand, would the Dodgers possibly be able to clinch at home? It would have taken a miracle. The Dodgers will have had to win tonight and tomorrow, and Arizona would have lost 2 in a row to Colorado, and that was not about to happen. Arizona breezed 9-2. Blanco draws the walk. Garcia has walked 2, struck out 1. And Brandon Belt.
For the Giants, first baseman, number 9, Brandon Belt.
Belt has 3 hits and reached on an error. He has scored 3 times, rode home on Pence's grand slam, and he's been busy. He's knocked in a couple. And ball 1. Adrian Gonzalez now coming in to talk to Onelki. Kind of a smile on his face. Maybe he felt Onelki was too serious. Might also be talking about Blanco at first, but I doubt it, just to tell him he's not going to hold him on. With a left-hander, all you have to do is look over there. You don't need to be told. Off the plate again, ball 2. '98. Trying to think if the Dodgers have had a higher number than 98. In the Dodger press guide, they list numbers. Manny Ramirez wore 99. Hyun-Jin Ryu wears 99. But before those two, no one ever wore 98. Joe Beimel wore 97. 3-1. There was a pitcher with the Giants many years ago. I mean many years ago, who wore 96. Bill Boisel. But 96 was the name of his hometown. I think it was 96 South Carolina or 96 North Carolina, one or the other. 3-2. Fastball lifted to right center and deep. Schumacher at the track, at the wall. Belt lives up to his name and drives it out. So he's having a big night. He had 3 singles, but now he comes up with his 4th hit, a 2-run home run. He has driven in 4. He has scored 4. And Brandon Belt, we mentioned earlier at the very start of the game how Clayton Kershaw remembered pitching to him. I guess it was high school in Texas. And he was telling Madison Bumgarner he thought, boy, this guy is really a good hitter. And he has exploded tonight. So you take Belt with 4 RBIs, Pence with 7, and it's a runaway. The Giants now lead 14-3. So for Garcia, he gives up a couple. 1 ball, now 2-0. Strike 2-1. Peter Moylan gets up down in the Dodger bullpen to begin loosening up. Peter from Australia. And of course, if you wanted to look ahead, next year the Dodgers open up the season in Australia, in Sydney, against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Then they'll come home and open up with San Diego. Or maybe they open up with the Giants next year. I can't see the schedule through all the base hits tonight. 3-1. And ball 4. Though Garcia is struggling, welcome to the club. Nolasco gave up 7. Fife gave up 5. Garcia's given up 2 so far. And here's the man, Hunter Pence. 2 singles, grounded out, and hit a grand slam home run. 7 runs batted in. He has had a magnificent run since the 1st of August. He's homered in 4 of his last 5 games. He has 8 home runs in his last 18 games. And he has 16 RBIs now in his last 5 games. And remember, he has also stolen 21 bases, and he has made and played in more games than anybody else. This is game number 150. So Don Mattingly, with his head down, slowly making his way, stops to exchange words with Rick Honeycutt. So that'll do it for Onelke, apparently. And they have Peter Moylan getting ready. So Garcia gives up a couple. In any language, it's time to call it a game. Mattingly talking to his infield as well. Pat on the back. Onelke is still out there. I mean, they haven't officially moved him yet. The bullpen gate is still low. Peter Moylan is still throwing. Well, there he is. They have not signaled that they wanted him yet. And now they say bring in Moylan. So Onelke Garcia will think of the mountains in Guantanamo as he makes his way back to the clubhouse, and we'll be right back. Talented, fun to watch because he is constantly in motion. But boy, has he been constantly in motion tonight. He had a couple of singles, and then in the 5th inning, a grand slam home run over the center field wall. He has 7 runs batted in tonight. And as we mentioned, he has 4 grand slams. Number 3 was hit 1 year ago today against Arizona. So Hunter Pence will be facing Peter Moylan, and the Dodgers use a new catcher, Drew Butera. Now, if this was a strategy move, you'd probably put Garcia, have him relieved by Butera in the first spot, and put Moylan in Fedorovic's spot. But we'll wait until we hear. If there was a game going on, that's probably how they would have done it, but not sure now. So here's Hunter Pence. And ball 1. Hunter Pence, a Texas boy, was originally drafted by the Astros. I bet they're sorry they let him get away. He not only left the Astros, he went to Philadelphia and then left Philadelphia. Last year, he had 7 home runs, but he had 17 with the Phillies, so he had a total of 24 home runs. He also had 104 runs batted in, counting 2 teams. 2-0. Right, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Foul back. Hunter was 1 for 7 when he faced Greinke, and first time up he hit the home run to right field. He was 2 for 35 against Clayton Kershaw, and he wound up with a single and a home run, but not against Kershaw. Then tonight, Ricky Nolasco, he was hitting .276 against Ricky, and he was 2 for 2 against Nolasco. So he's made up against pitchers who've given him a bad time. 3-2 the count. Before his big night since coming to the Giants, Pence was hitting only .179 with 1 home run in 21 games against the Dodgers. The home run was against Josh Beckett. But now he has a home run against Greinke and the big home run against Stephen Fife. Hunter Pence is 30 years old. 6'4", 215. Went to the University of Texas, second-round pick by the Astros. Older brother Howie pitched in the Padre organization, but never got up beyond Class A. Hunter, as we said, very competitive and infectious makeup, high energy, constantly in motion. And with all of his ability and size, he chokes up. 3-2. When asked about choking up on the bat, he said, "I've been doing that since I was 12 years old." And a hopper to short. They're going to get one. They will double him up. So Hunter Pence hits into the double play here in the 7th inning. 2 out. And the batter will be Pablo Sandoval. So they finally stop him. They did stop him in the 3rd inning when he grounded out. Poor guy's just 3 for 5 with 7 RBIs. Used to wear 9 in college, wears 8 in the big leagues. Pence has now hit into 16 double plays. And that'll do it. So Moylan comes in, gets Pence and Sandoval, and it winds up being a 2-run inning, and the Giants lead 14-3. Remember the question, where would you bat Puig if you were making out the lineup? And a lot of people moved him all around, understandably, but the majority, 37%, would like him to hit second, 27% lead off, then hitting third, and finally 15% hitting cleanup. Well, as he matures, he will go, I'm sure, from right now a present leadoff spot. Won't be too long where he will be dropped down in the lineup. Meanwhile, Heath Hembree. He's out of the College of Charleston. He's from South Carolina. He didn't pitch, never touched a ball to throw it until the 9th grade. His father, Rick, a former college pitcher, wanted to preserve his son's arm and missed his high school senior season after tearing his ACL on the football field. He's big, 6'4", 210. So Heath Hembree, he's been at Fresno. Only his 4th year as a professional. And Hembree ready to work on Castellanos. Alex homered in his only at bat in the 5th inning. So this is very much the kind of a game you'd see in spring training. Not that you're going to see Lincecum, but he did go 6 innings. Johnny Monell is the new catcher handling Hembree, so they've got some players we have never seen before. He'll take over behind the plate. Johnny's a left-handed hitter. In fact, Monell, the catcher, like Juan Perez, is from the Bronx in New York. His father was a good outfielder who reached AAA in the Mets system, then went on and played in Taiwan. Spent 17 years playing baseball on 3 continents, including Mexico and Puerto Rico, besides Taiwan. So Johnny is indeed a chip off the old block. Johnny Monell, M-O-N-E-L-L. So Monell handling Hembree. 14-3 Giants in the 7th. And that's fouled away. Joaquin Arias is at third base now for Pablo Sandoval. Joaquin played shortstop last night and then moved over and finished up at third. Two and two. Alex Castellanos, home run over the right center field wall in the 5th inning. His 2nd home run in his young career. Hit one last year. And a high foul, and that's going to go out of play. I can't believe that you're keeping score of this game, but if you are, Drew Butera, who's the Dodger catcher, is hitting in the leadoff spot. Buss hits second. Moylan hits after Schumacher in Fedorovic's spot. And strike 3, and down goes Castellanos, 1 away. So with 1 out,
catcher number 31.
Here's the catcher, Drew Butera. Now he's not making his major league career. You could say he's making it with the Dodgers, but he's already had 4 years with the Minnesota Twins. You may remember his name. His dad, Sal Butera, who was catching as late as 1988. Drew Butera, 30 years old, born in Evansville, Indiana, lives in Lake Mary, Florida, and went to the University of Central Florida. Did not hit at Albuquerque. They say he's a good catcher. 1-1. Drew is 6'1", 200-pounder. One ball and one strike. 1-2. Don't forget tomorrow at 1:10, Ryan Vogelsong and Edinson Vargas. Dodgers battling tomorrow for a split, trying to reduce the magic number to 3, and the Giants trying very hard not to be the fall guys. 1-2. And down goes Butera on a good fastball. So Hembree has struck out 2.
Left fielder, number 48.
2 out, and the left fielder now, Nick Buss, who flied to center in his major league at bat in the 3rd inning, and then singled to right field for his first major league hit in the 5th inning. So it's been a big night for him. Buss is from Michigan. He was selected by the Dodgers in the first-year player draft out of USC. So the Dodgers get a Trojan in Nick Buss. The Giants have a Bruin in Brandon Crawford. 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. One and two. Roger Kieschnick is in left field now for San Francisco. He just came into the game. Francisco Peguera has moved over. Blanco is in center, and Peguero is now in right. Ground ball picked up by Belt, takes it to the bag. That'll do it for Buss and for the Dodgers. We have 7 innings in now as Hembree walks off, and the Giants lead 14-3. Concluding game of the 4-game series. Ryan Vogelsong with a record of 3-5, 4-3 career record, an ERA of 3.8. Dodgers counter with Edinson Volquez. He came over 9-11. He is 0-1 as a Dodger. In his career, a 2-2 record, but a bad earned run average over 6. But that's tomorrow at 1:10. Giants trying to win 3 out of 4, and the Dodgers trying to satisfy themselves with a split and reduce the magic number. Lots of changes. First of all, Michael Young is now at third base. D. Gordon, who's been taking ground balls at second base, and he says he likes to turn double plays, so he'll be playing second base. Nick Punto stays in at short, and over at first, Jerry Hairston. And ball one. Ari Adrianza. He's the shortstop backing up Brandon Crawford. 1 ball and no strikes. That missed inside. Ball 2. 2-0. So it's a Giant Dodger game in September, and there are names like Kishik, Hembry, Adrianza, and Monell in the Giant lineup, and names like Butera, Buss, Castellanos in the Dodger lineup. 2-1. And ball 3. For the Giants, it'll mean their record in the West, and that's really got to irritate them because they've done so well in the Western Division. The Giants tonight, when they finish, will be 39-30 in the Western Division, and the Dodgers, breezing in first place, are break even, 31-31. Pull foul. 3-2 the count to Ari. He's testing that bat. It sounded a little sour. All right, 3-2. E-H-I-R-E, pronounced Airy. And he hits it to center, full turn. Shoe goes back to make the play. Schumacher, who was an outfielder and then came to the Dodgers and saw a lot of action on the infield, but he still has the grace of an experienced outfielder for sure. 1 away. 8th inning, and Nick Noonan coming up. Noonan is 0 for 3, popped up, struck out twice, and walked, hitting .202. Ball 1. Hunter Pence. Boy, what a night. 7 runs batted in, 2 singles, and a grand slam home run. Just looking back to see what Pence is doing. He now has 52 multi-hit games. He has scored a couple. He's in the top 10 in runs scored. With 3 hits tonight, he has 171 hits. So he's in the top 5. There's a base hit for Noonan. And that'll bring up the catcher, Johnny Monell. Pence in total bases. 6 total bases tonight. That makes it 285. He's right behind Paul Goldschmidt. 52 multi-hit games. I mean, on and on. He's been outstanding. Extra base hits, his home run, his 63rd. That ties him with Goldschmidt. Joey Votto of Cincinnati has played 149 games, the same as Hunter Pence. 1 ball, no strikes. Left-hand hitter fouls it off. Johnny with a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Young players getting a look. Called up from the minors. Monell was at Fresno. He hit .275 and he had 20 home runs at Fresno. 2-1. Peter Moylan getting in some work. It's been Nolasco, Howell briefly, then Fife, Garcia, and Moylan. 7 runs charged to Nolasco, 5 to Fife, and 2 to Garcia. 2-1. And a line drive base hit to right field. Castellanos gets it back in. So Moylan now has given up 2 hits with 1 out. And the batter will be Francisco Peguero. So Peguero checking in. Francisco is from the Dominican Republic. He's only 25 years old. For Johnny Monell, that's his first major league hit. So congratulations to him. Nick Buss got his first major league hit for the Dodgers. Peguero signed by the Giants in '06 as a free agent. He's 25 years old. Made the usual stops and finally made it to the Giants briefly last year. And then again briefly this year. Oh, and 1. And a high fly and playable. It will be the Dodger left fielder, and that means bust. And we have 2 down. Gregor Blanco will be coming up. Blanco has walked twice, 2 hits, and struck out. Blanco finishing up for the Giants in center field. 2 for 3, hitting .264. 2 home runs, 35 runs batted in. Just in case you weren't around and turned it on, Arizona beat Colorado 9-2. The Dodgers are being shellacked here, so the magic number remains 4. Ball 1. Brandon Belt is having a fine night, but it's a little bit overshadowed by Hunter Pence. Brandon Belt is on deck. All he's done is have 4 hits, including a 2-run home run. 1 ball and no strikes. And that's going to go into right field. On the dead run to play it on a hop is Castellanos. Gets the ball back in, but the Giants have scored their 15th run. Brought in by Nick Noonan on the base hit by Peguero.
First baseman number 9, Brandon Belt.
So Brandon Belt coming up with runners at first and third. Johnny Monell at third. 3 hits in the inning against Peter Moylan. 15-3 in favor of San Francisco. Several people who thought the Dodgers were going to rally down 14-3 have decided now the game is out of grasp. So 15 runs, 17 hits for the Giants. And that's going to go down the left field line, and a base hit. In fact, it's going to roll around. 2 more runs will score, and it is 17-3 San Francisco. Brandon Belt knocks it into the corner, and all of a sudden for Peter Moylan, the wheels have come off the cart. The Giants have now scored 17. The Dodgers, for the first time this year, allowed 17. They did allow 16 in a dreadful game in Philadelphia, way back in Philadelphia. So Brandon Belt, he picks up 2 more. That'll give him 6 runs batted in and 5 hits. So the Giants are playing can you top this? Belt has 5 hits, 4 runs batted in. Pence had 7 runs batted in. And the batter now is Roger Kieschnick. You may remember the name Bruce Kieschnick. I don't believe there's a relationship there. Strike. Rogers from Dallas, Texas, went to school at Texas Tech. He says he is always asked, is he related to Brooks Kieschnick? He says he's a distant uncle. High bouncer up the middle, backhanded by D. Gordon, makes the play, and finally the inning. Not before the Giants come up with 3 more. And at the end of 7 1/2, they lead the Dodgers 17-3. Runs against Miami, 17 runs tonight. They have 18 hits, but they had 19 hits against Miami. The Dodger bullpen has had some holes punched into it, but really it's not that important. They did make 137 total pitches in 6 2/3 innings, but those pitches and runs were given up by Stephen Fife and Onelki Garcia and Peter Moylan. Of the 3, I would guess only 5 has a chance of making the club in the playoffs. So it's not quite as bad as you might think. The regulars, let's say, in the Dodger bullpen have really not been in the game. J.P. Howell came in, got 2 outs, and that was it. Meanwhile, more changes. Juan Perez is now in center field. We saw him make a tremendous catch last night. And George Contos, who is no stranger, will pick up. George Contos from Illinois, Lincolnwood, went to Northwestern and was originally drafted by the Yankees in the 5th round. He was raised by his Greek-born grandparents. For 7 years, he supplemented his public school education by attending Greek school. And as George said, I spoke Greek before I could speak English. 2-2 with a pretty high ERA, 4.6, and working on D. Gordon. High blooper to left field, going out and off the glove of Adrianza. So Gordon opens up with a base hit, despite the fact that they have Jerry Hairston on the right field board. It's one of those nights. So Gordon, a bloop single into left field. He will take it. Now here is Hairston. Hairston with Michael Young hitting back of him. First pitch for a strike, 0-1. Contos, big fella, 6'3", 215, 28 years old. Spent 3 years at Scranton Wilkes-Barre and originally drafted by the Yankees. Actually made it to the Yankees twice, in 07 and then in 11. But the Yankees in 07 were in the Florida State League, and he finally made the big club in 11. And the next year he was with the Giants. Caught a lot of people's eye in the old Cape Cod League, where the really good college players play. As we said, he went to Northwestern. Oh, and 2. Ball 1. Contos in June was suspended for 3 games. He was also fined an undisclosed amount for throwing a pitch at the Pirates' Andrew McCutchen. 1-2. Ground ball slowly to short. Adrianza makes 1. They turn it for 2. And we have 2 out here in the 8th inning. Noonan, the middleman, did the good job. So the DP 6-4-3. And Michael Young coming up. For the Dodgers, this has been a thoroughly forgettable night. And for the Giants, loving every minute of it, punishing the Dodgers with 7 runs in the first 2 innings. Brandon Lee gets up in the Dodger bullpen to pitch the 9th. So Michael Young finishing up at third base, a strike. Michael hitting .278. Do you remember opening day? Were you here, watching, listening? Shot, comebacker, Contos stays with it, makes the play. It was George Contos who gave up that dramatic home run to Clayton Kershaw that cleared the center field wall when the Dodgers shut out the Giants 4-0. But that was opening day. It's 17-3 the other way tonight. The ball was hit by AJS, and he wound up tumbling over, sliding across the warning track right into the low box seat wall just to the left of the Dodger bullpen. It was really some catch. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Perez from the Bronx in New York. 1-2. He can show you that catch. It was so good, it's worth a look. There he goes. You figure he can't catch it. Look at that. Fully extended, losing his balance because he was extended. Rolls over, hits the wall, and holds on to the ball. Bumgarner waving. Nice catch. And he promptly bangs one into that left field corner for an extra base hit. Over to get the ball is Nick Buss, and into second base goes Juan Perez. So now 19 hits for the Giants. That ties their hit output against Miami in August the 16th. 19 knocks. But Bruce Bochy, it is a small banquet when you're in last place, but they're not going to be in last place. I don't believe they will wind up there at all. Figure they're going to catch at least Colorado, maybe San Diego. Adrianza fly to center in the 8th inning. 0 for 1. Brandon Crawford was 0 for 3. Did lose a hit on a great backhand catch by Juan Uribe. 2-0. 17 runs. That's a Giant high. 19 hits. That ties their high. For the Dodgers, 3 runs and 6 hits. Barely a murmur of protest. Two and 1. And a strike. 3 and 1. Nick Noonan, the left-hand hitting second baseman, on deck. Four days ago, Hunter Pence had 6 RBIs against Colorado. 4 days ago. And then he has 7 tonight. Pretty good week. 13 RBIs in 2 games in a 4-day span. And a game tomorrow against Edwin Volquez and the Dodgers. 3-2 the count. Slapped foul down the line. Giants, by winning tonight, have the edge on the season's record. They will have won 8 of the 15. Dodgers still hold a slight edge, 5 games to 4. So the 10th meeting at Dodger Stadium is tomorrow. 9 was scheduled this year in San Francisco. Adrianza waiting. 3-2. And he hits it into the gap in right center, and it's not only going to fall, it will roll to the wall. And the Giants now have 18 runs on 20 hits. And a double for Adrianza.
Second baseman, number 21.
So Lee gives up a couple of hits and a run. But again, really right now, if you had to guess, the only Dodger reliever who figures to make the postseason is J.P. Howell. The others questionable. Fife Garcia, Moylan, and Lee. Well, for Adrianza, a first major league hit. Well, this is rather memorable, although for a lot of people it is thoroughly forgettable. 53,062. But here's the note. Tonight's 18 runs by the Giants are the most ever by an opponent in Dodger Stadium history. And that goes back to 1962. 51 years and the high water mark tonight. For the Giants, their most runs and most hits in one game. Nick Noonan popped up, struck out twice, walked, and he got a base hit. 1-1. And that's whacked to left field for a base hit. Up with it there is Buss. Stopping at third is Adrianza with one out. So Noonan a base hit. Brandon Lee has now given up 3 hits in a non-game. And Johnny Monell, the left-hand hitting catcher who got his first major league hit in the 8th inning. So Adrianza got his first major league hit. Monell got his first major league hit. Nick Buss got his first major league hit. And several people in the stands. And strike. Brandon Lee's earned run average was about 5.5 coming in. 0-2. So Brandon giving up 2 doubles and a single. 1 out, 18-3. Giants with 21 hits. 2 home runs. Belt with a man aboard. Pence with a grand slam. Ground ball hard, knocked down at third by Young. No play. And the 19th run scores. So it is 19-3. Who won the fight? I mean, I'm thinking about fights stopped on facial cuts, etc. There would be an error charged to Michael Young. If this were a fight, it would have been stopped a long time ago. Merriweather and Alvarez tonight fought over in Las Vegas. 19-3. So 18 was a high. Now make it 19. In 1961, the Dodgers came to Los Angeles in 1958. In 1961, the Dodgers gave up 19 runs. But that was at the Coliseum. Oh, 2. Oh, wow. Fight has just started. I thought I looked in the paper today and they had 6 o'clock. I guess that was wrong. Or maybe that was the bill. Yeah. So 19-3 San Francisco. Francisco Peguera flied to left field in the 8th inning. A slow roller. Michael Young bare hand throws too late. And the bases are loaded. Of course, the Giants really needed that, right? It'll go as an infield hit. 22 hits for San Francisco. Tony Abreu, who at one time wore the livery of the Dodgers, Abreu is going to come up and bat for Gregor Blanco. $19 runs, 22 hits. The Dodgers 3 runs, 6 hits, and 3 errors. The errors didn't really figure, though. It's just been an onslaught. Ground ball up the middle. D feeds his shortstop. Punto's throw is in time, and they get the double play to end the inning. So the Giants score 2, and they're stopped at 19. And we're going to the bottom of the ninth. 19-3 Giants. They're watching and listening to Abbott and Costello do that tremendous routine, who's on first, which is in the Hall of Fame, by the way. Meanwhile, the Giants bring in another pitcher, appropriately named Kickham, Mike Kickham, and Boshi, tongue-in-cheek, kick him when they're down, and the Dodgers are certainly down 19-3. The crowd laughing in the background, enjoying Abbott and Costello. The Dodgers have not enjoyed anything tonight. The crowd applauding the videotape. And in the ninth inning, Mike Kickham getting ready to pitch to Schumacher, followed by A.J. Ellis and then Punto. So Mike Kickham ready to pitch the bottom of the ninth, leading 19-3. Ball one. Mike Kickham out of Missouri State. Giants picked him in the 6th round just 3 years ago. He graduated from a Springfield, Missouri high school, went to Crowder Junior College, and then Missouri State. That's a strike. Mike is 24 years old. He'll be 25 in December. 6'4", 210. A strike. 2-2. Kickham basically a fastball, slider, curve, and change. Pitched in Augusta, Richmond, and this year Fresno. Fastball sliced down the left field line. It will land. Base hit. Up with it there is Kieschnick, and holding on to the long single is Skip Schumacher, who winds up going 2 for 3 tonight. A reminder, Dodgers Live coming up after the game.
Pitching for the Dodgers, number 17, A.J.
So
Ellis.
Schumacher at first. Brandon Belt backs off the bag, and A.J. Ellis will now come off the bench and pinch hit. A.J. Ellis is appearing as a pinch hitter for the first time this year, hitting .243. Strike. 0-1. So just to complete the evening, Arizona defeated Colorado 9-2. Giants just destroying the Dodgers tonight, so the magic number remains 4. The Giants 19 runs on 22 hits. Tomorrow at 1:10, Ryan Vogelsong and Volquez for the Dodgers. 2 big nights. One for Hunter Pence, 7 runs batted in, including a grand slam, and the other for Brandon Belt, 5 hits and 6 runs batted in. Pence is out of there, Belt still in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fouled at the plate, and it was held. So Ellis strikes out. 1 down. That'll bring up Nick Punto, going all the way at short. Fly to center, grounded out, struck out, 0 for 3. And a drive down the left field line, and this one is going to be off the wall. They will stop Schumacher at third. Wouldn't that be awful to have a runner thrown out at the plate when you're trailing 19-3 in the 9th inning? So it didn't take Tim Wallach long to stop him. A double by Punto to put runners at second and third, and Alex Castellanos coming up. Castellanos got in the game in the 5th inning and hit a home run. So Punto hits one down the line, fair ball rattling around in the corner. Meanwhile, there's somebody who hadn't given up. Yes, hanging in there. Second and third, nobody out, now 1 out. 0-1 to Castellanos. So Schumacher singled, Ellis struck out, Punto doubled. Castellanos struck out last time up. Oh, and 1. Low fastball, little sink to it. Mike Kickham. A perfect name for a guy with San Francisco against the Dodgers tonight. And that will do it. Castellanos strikes out a second time. 2 strikeouts for Kickham. And the batter will be the catcher, Drew Butera.
Number 31, Drew Butera.
Dodger bullpen after Nolasco gave up 7 runs. Fife gave up 5. Garcia 2. That's 7. Moylan gave up 3. That's 10. And Lee gave up 2. So the bullpen gave up 12. The starter gave up 7. And the Giants have 19 runs. Ground ball to third, one-handed there by Arias. The throw is in time, and mercifully this one has come to an end. 19-22-0 for the Dodgers. 3 runs, 8 hits, and 3 errors. Tomorrow it's Vogelsong and Volquez. Stay tuned for Dodgers Live coming up next. Good night, everybody.